Here's another situation that was going viral over the weekend. Another relationship dealing. It says Bad Baby says she is still living with her BD despite domestic abuse. Okay, let's talk about this, right? Now, okay, there was a situation, you know, I think she got pregnant back in December. Bad Baby. Um, Living with her BD, they got some history together. And, okay, a lot of people chimed in with their 2 cents on what they would do, and they would leave, and oh, I would have fought back. Man, let's stop the cap. Like I always say, this is a case by case situation. It's easy for you to look at what somebody else is going through and be like, oh, I would never. But I know people who actually go through things like this, and then they'll be on social media talking about like, oh, I would never do that. But it's like, I know you, and man, you would have thought your boyfriend was a boxer, but I don't like that. Because at the end of the day, putting your hands on your partner is never gonna be okay. Putting your hands on somebody who is not trying to engage in the same way that you are physically, especially if it's your significant other, yo, that's never gonna be okay. Now I know a lot of people, they like to get online and get their little laughs off and stuff like that. Oh yeah, it's funny until you in a situation like that. Now me personally, I don't think that stuff is funny at all. I've never been in a situation like that where I'm literally putting my hand on a woman and still trying to tell her like I love her and I want to be with her and all this other stuff. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, I've never been in a situation with a woman where I felt like it's gotten to the point where I literally physically needed to put my hands on her and do something about it. Now, if a woman is hitting you, okay, boom, restrain. Get away from the situation. Go ahead and Miss Miyagi yourself out of the situation. But to actually full on grab somebody, hit them, that's never going to be okay. Because at the end of the day, I've never been with a girl who I actually fear for my life that she can actually do real damage. Every girl I've ever been with, you can easily get 10, 15, 20 of your hardest shots, and I'm not going to do the same with you. I'm going to protect myself. And when I say protect myself, I don't mean by giving you the same energy that you're giving me. When I say protect myself, I'm going to remove myself from the situation. Like I said, I've never been with a girl where I've actually been feared for my life of her actually putting her hands on me, let alone a girl who was fast enough to keep up with me. And man, I don't care about how it look. If a girl start putting her hands on me, Usain Bolt, I'm out of it. Oh, you running from a girl? Yeah, that's what you supposed to do. If I stay, that's putting me in an even more compromised position to have to defend myself. Now, me personally, I believe that you should always defend yourself, right? I feel that way about men. There's not a man who can put his hands on me and he's not going to get the equal or same reaction from me. But you are dealing with women. Okay, cool. You might not want to get hit, but you still might get hit. But as a man, you have to have self-control to know that you cannot put your hands on this woman. Just be okay just to walk away from the situation. And I feel like that's what Bad Baby's BD should have done, because look, we're talking about it now and we're not painting him in the most flattering light, because I think most people can speak for themselves that you might know maybe a parent or a close friend or a relative, somebody that has gone through the situation as well. And if you've seen an actual man like really fight a woman, yo, that'll give me knots in my stomach. You know what I mean? Well, first of all, I'm not just going to let that stand either. Now, that's always a tricky situation if you are in a situation where you see a situation like that happen. The best case scenario usually is, well, like I always say, it's case by case based, but the best scenario you can do, don't want to get too engaged, maybe go up to the man and say something like, yo, they just called the police, yada, yada, yada. Boom, that's cool. Because a lot of you probably think, yo, if I see a man putting his hands on his girl, I'm going to jump in. A lot of people who didn't say that can probably see why you wouldn't jump in, because situation like this, the person doesn't always leave. Now, you'll see something like that, like, yo, that is not okay. You can't stand for that. But you also don't know the situation. They could have been together, 10, 15 years, not making okay to do it. But what I'm trying to say is there's already a history there. If you're dating somebody for 2 weeks and they're putting your hands on you, you will leave so quick and not even think twice about it. Like, what, 2 weeks? Like, man, you got me messed up. You feel me? But if it's somebody that maybe you have a kid with, couple kids with, they might be pregnant, you've been together, 5, 10 years. Once you have those years put in, I can definitely see why it might be a little harder to, rip off the Band-Aid and stop messing with them. But at the end of the day, all the outside noise, people saying, Bhad Bhabie, you should leave them, and yada, yada, yada. Because like I said, she already said that she is staying with them. And then she's trying to, like, kind of backtrack, like, oh, who said we're staying together? I just said we're still living together. Man, stop the cap. Because everybody knows, if you had a situation, you got an ex, y'all broke up, but y'all happen to still be living together, it's only a matter of time before maybe you guys rekindle, right? Because like I said, it's the history that you guys have with each other, right? Because she doesn't always see the negative things that you do. She's outweighing all the positive compared to, the negatives, right? So, I don't know. It's a very dangerous situation to be in because, like I said, you got the history together. So, as a woman, you might feel a little more, I don't want to say like entitled, but like you might feel like this just like, okay, this is a one-off and won't happen again. Being a little too friendly, giving people a chance when they necessarily shouldn't have chances. Okay, I'm not a woman, so I can't speak on what I would do, But as a man, like if a girl's putting her hands on me, like, I ain't gonna lie, I'm probably not going. Now, I don't know. I might not necessarily leave because it's no fear of my life. Now, if this girl is pulling weapons on me, the same knife that she just used to make my little chicken quesadillas for dinner. If that suddenly becomes a projectile towards me, that is grounds to leave. If she pulls the blicky out on me, that is grounds for me to leave. I could take a couple punches. I don't know if I can take a couple bullets or a couple stab wounds. You know what I mean? So situations like that, anything that is even along those lines, naturally I'm going to remove myself from the situation. Because like I said, it is a very dangerous situation as a woman to be in a situation like that. Why? Because incidents like that can lead to cemetery-like consequences. Because you don't know if that's going to be the end of it. Oh, it just happened one time. Okay. Then it happens another time. Okay. Oh, yeah, you ain't heard about old girl? Yeah, old boy killed her. Right? So it's like, it's that fine line to know when you need to leave and when you need to stay. If you're in a situation like that, really weigh out these options. I think sometimes you got to ignore the outside noise because people are giving you advice that they aren't necessarily being asked to do themselves. So it's a little bit easier. Like outside looking in, the peanut gallery, you got no skin in the game. It's kind of like, oh yeah, I will leave. Oh, you should leave him. You know what I mean? But I guess we'll just have to wait to see how this actually plays off. But hopefully it gets figured out because we've seen situations like this before, and things don't always get better. So at the end of the day, even though it is a relationship, it's supposed to be a partnership. You definitely have to look out for your best interest as always. That's got to be at the forefront of whatever you got going on. Yes, you guys are supposed to be a team, but at the end of the day, if you guys are supposed to be a team and your teammate is hurting you, what type of team is this? It seems like a little unfair team, right? Like when everything goes bad, you get the blame for it. Like when everything goes good, he gets the blame for it. You don't want to be in a situation like that. You want to be in a mutual beneficial relationship for the both of you in a safe environment ultimately.